If you find the topic of dreams interesting and you're looking for a good laugh, you should consider reading Sigmund Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. This is based on the third edition published around 1913. The book is interesting because many of the categories of dreams he mentions are common, and you've likely had some version of these dreams yourself. A few common dream types are dreams where you're flying, dreams where you're falling, dreams where you are swimming, dreams where you're being chased, dreams where you are naked in public, dreams where you unavoidably move towards something you don't want to confront, dreams where you feel you have to go to the bathroom, and dreams where you forgot something important, etc. Freud also discusses the idea that sometimes an external stimulus can find its way into a dream. A sound in waking life can transform into something else in a dream. One person's dream that he mentions was about feeling that they were being led to execution at the guillotine, only to wake up and find that something hard was pushed up against their neck. You get the sense while reading the book that Freud is being very defensive. It's clear he received criticism not only for the bizarre sexual interpretations he gives for dreams, or for the high degree of confidence he has in his interpretations, but also for his rigid insistence that all dreams are actually wish fulfillment. He also tends to interpret dreams differently for men and women. Frequently, the interpretations for men are all about phalluses and repressed sexual urges, and the interpretations for women are not very flattering either. There are two broad categories of dreams: anxiety dreams and wish fulfillment dreams. But Freud is very insistent that all dreams are really wish fulfillment dreams, and he gets very defensive when people try to claim that not all dreams fall into that category. He even includes an argument between him and one of his patients. She is aware that he thinks all dreams are really wish fulfillment, and she tells him a dream she had that is clearly an anxiety dream. "You always tell me that the dream is a wish fulfilled," begins a clever lady patient. "Now I shall tell you a dream in which the content is quite the opposite, in which a wish of mine is not fulfilled. How do you reconcile that with your theory?" His solution is basically to say that you really wanted to be anxious, so the anxiety dream is really fulfilling your wishes. Therefore, it is a wish fulfillment dream. Freud's defensiveness is a common theme throughout the book. Just remember, the next time you have a nightmare, remind yourself that you are wrong and that this is actually wish fulfillment. Have you ever wondered what neurotic fear is really all about? From this formula, which has since proved its validity more and more clearly, we may deduce the conclusion that the context of anxiety dreams is of a sexual nature, the libido belonging to which content has been transformed into fear. Freud also brings up the interesting idea of a censor, the way one part of our mind hides things from another part of our mind in our dreams. For the present, we may state, as a second condition which the elements must satisfy in order to get into the dream, that they must be withdrawn from the censor of resistance. From now on, we shall take account of dream displacement as an unquestionable fact in the interpretation of dreams. For Freud, there were two kinds of dream about being naked in the presence of strangers or in public. Sometimes the dreamer would feel shame and want to hide, but in other cases there was a sense of inhibition. Freud had more than one interpretation of dreams about flying. For women, he felt this was a dream about fulfilling some longing, and for men, he felt this dream had something to do with erections and how they defy gravity. Dreams of falling, which are usually characterized by fear, for women, Freud felt that these have to do with indulgence in erotic temptation. There's no way that a dream about falling is really just about falling. Here are some more fun quotes from the book. A patient who was describing his dream said, "Then there are some gaps in the dream." And of course, this is a reference to the chief character of the female genitals. I know some patients, to be sure, who have steadily adhered to an architectural symbolism for the body and the genitals. Sexual interest certainly extends far beyond the region of the external genital organs, to whom posts and pillars signify legs, as in the Song of Songs, to whom every gate suggests a bodily opening, or hole, and every water main a urinary apparatus, and the like. If you've ever had a dream about teeth or about losing teeth. But I must also refer to another connection contained in an idiomatic expression. In our country there is in use an indelicate designation for the act of masturbation, namely to pull out one or to pull one down. This expression had been familiar to me in early youth as a designation for onanism, and from here on it will not be difficult for the experienced dream interpreter to access the infantile material which may lie at the basis of this dream. If you've ever had a dream about candles, she puts a candle into a candlestick, but the candle is broken, so that it does not stand straight. The girls at school say she is clumsy. The young lady replies that it is not her fault. Here, too, there is an actual occasion for the dream. The day before she had actually put a candle into a candlestick, but this one was not broken. A transparent symbolism has been employed here. The candle is an object which excites the feminine genitals. It is being broken so that it does not stand straight, signifies impotence on the man's part. It is not her fault. If you've ever had a déjà vu dream about a place you were sure that you'd been before, there are dreams about landscapes and localities in which emphasis is always laid upon the assurance, I have been there before. In this case, the locality is always the general organ of the mother. It can indeed be asserted with such certainty of no other locality that one has been there before. I guess Freud did not know about C-section births. If you've had dreams about landscapes or bridges, likewise many landscapes in dreams, especially with bridges or with wooded mountains, can be readily recognized as descriptions of the genitals. If you've ever had dreams about hats, of articles of dress, the woman's hat may frequently be definitely interpreted as the male genital. If you've ever had a dream about water, it is quite true that symbolizations of organs of the body and of their functions are contained in dreams, that water in a dream often signifies a desire to urinate. If you've ever had a dream where there are people present, or landscapes present, the male genital symbolized by persons, and the female by a landscape. If you've ever had a dream about putting on a coat, he dreamt that he was putting on his winter overcoat again, which was terrible. The occasion for this dream is apparently the cold weather which has recently set in again. On more careful examination, and this goes on for a while, and then he realizes, a thin condom is dangerous, a thick one is bad. The condom is an overcoat, for it is put over something. If you've ever had a dream about hunger, my dream about the three parquet is obviously a dream of hunger, but it has found means to refer the need for food back to the longing of the child for its mother's breast, and to make the harmless desire a cloak for a more serious one, which is not permitted to express itself so openly. Freud also makes it clear that if you dream of something you do in waking life, it really has a symbolic meaning. Rest assured, if you dream of something that you actually do in waking life, the dream was not really about that, and it was really about something sexual. Maybe the interpretations he comes up with reveal more about Freud than they reveal about the nature of dreams. Either way, the book is entertaining and a great conversation starter for your next party.